Hi Black Vogue, or hi everybody following Black Vogue, more like. Can you guys hear me well? Can you hear me? Because my phone is a little bit away from me because I want to have my hands free because I talk gesticulating. Jag kommer ta det här på engelska, men jag tror att de flesta av er som följer mig kan ändå engelskan. Vi har egentligen haft den här debatten i flera veckor nu, och nu återgår jag till engelskan. In Sweden, for all the followers who are in the US and other parts of Europe, this is a discussion that we have been having in Sweden for the last few weeks, and it feels like months, it feels like years, it feels like this discussion never actually ends. And I know many of you are wondering, it's Sunday, don't you have something better to do with your time? I really do have something better to do with my time. We're reaching the point where we're going to Libya now, and I should be focusing on that, but then when I have a free moment, I like to share with you guys some of my thoughts about feminism, white feminism, intersectionality, things that are very simple to understand but seems to be very difficult for people to grasp. And I am not gonna spare anyone here because what people don't know about me, or should know by now but still don't know, is I am not on Instagram or social media. I've been here for the last 4 years. I am not here for people to like me. I'm not here for people to go like, yay, Lovette, you're amazing. I give that to myself. So the only reason why I'm here online is to share knowledge I have, to kind of like evoke ideas in your mind, because sometimes we're so comfortable in what we believe in that we forget what reality is. And I also want to clarify, I do not identify as a feminist as it stands today. I have always identified as a womanist. Maybe that's why it's so easy, ideas and thoughts, than it is for other people, but I feel like once people understand this issue, then we should all be in the same sort of like boat, helping each other. Let's see. So let's take it back. Right now, the climate on Instagram, on social media, in forums, on Facebook is very hostile. It's hostile not because of people of color making it hostile, because they're simply sharing knowledge about why certain things hurt them, hurt their culture, and hurt their existence. And all I see is a lot of people, and I don't want anybody to be offended, because when I say white feminists, I'm talking about feminists that believe that feminism is only for them and nobody else. If that doesn't relate to you, let it go. If it does, open your mind and really think about what I'm saying. Let's think about feminism in its purest form, where it started with suffragettes. You know, suffragettes back in the day when feminism started, they had to ally themselves with white male to be able to get their voices heard. So who do they attack when they ally with white males? Black males and black females. There's up to a point, and there's scripture online that you can read about this, where the women's march back in the day was going on. They asked us black women to march at the back of the line because they didn't want to offend their white allies. Now, if that is how feminism began, with all of the main female feminists, white feminists, being overtly racist and pandering to structures that harm us, then it's no wonder why we're standing here today in 2018 having white feminists still demand that we explain to them why their way of being and their structures and their exclusion of us harms us. And once they've listened, they turn around and say, I'm still going to do it because it's my right. I have already said this last week. We do not have the societal structures as people of color or black people to stop any white person from appropriating our culture, from disrespecting us, and from minimizing any hurt that we go through. You know, all these feminist accounts on Instagram now want to say we're all going together. No, we're not going together, because when they say we're all going together, they're only talking about people that look like them going forward. Nobody else. Let's take it back to the demonstration I organized in Sweden. I made a simple suggestion. Can you share the demonstration to big white feminist account? They turned it around on me and said, this is not a feminist issue. So black women dying and being raped in Libya is not a feminist issue. How do you even make that comparison in your mind? Is ridiculous. But the difference there, and let me tell you, is, and this is a technique used over and over and over again, if that white feminist feels that I making that simple request, and it was me, for most of you who didn't know, now you know, me making a simple request hurts their sensitivity. They're gonna cry. And we all know in today's society, white tears is more important than black lives. We live in a warped society where if I, as a white feminist with 100,000 followers or 50,000 followers, feel like I'm being pointed out and I cry a little bit, then I get sympathy. Whilst I can cry every day, and I do cry most days. Because racism is a structure that affects us mentally and physically. Our bodies are policed. Our mind is being policed. Our freedom is dependent on us fighting every single day. So how can you be so flippant as to think that our fight and what we're telling you, people who go through it, is not important? Who are you? Are you any better than the men fighting against the Me Too, saying we've gone too far and they can't even hug women anymore? That's what you're saying, because when men say, I can't even say hello to a woman without being Me Too, and then you turn around and you say, I can't even wear earrings without being CA'd, you are no better than white cis men that tell you that. But do you know what the difference is? We, people of color and black people, have to fight patriarchy as well as our so-called allies. We have to deal with sexism as well as inequality, as well as cultural appropriation. So when you go out and you wear earrings and you go, well, it's my body and I can do as I please. Well, what are you doing? You're shitting on my head. That's what you're doing. And everybody who follows this account, who's followed me for the last however many years and however many days, you know I only speak what I know. And sometimes I have to sit in my living room unpaid and read to be able to enlighten you. I'm not paid for it. I'm not sponsored for it. I could give 2 fucks if I have 2 followers or if I have 100,000. Let's clarify that. I'm not here for followers. I'm here to spread what I believe in. And I have stayed the hell away from a lot of arguments going online because of my mental health, because of being tired, because of everything I've been working behind the scenes for Libya. So I've been like, this is petty. What are y'all doing? How hard is it to open? It's like you walk down the street and you step on someone's toe and they say, ouch, that hurts. And you say, but I maintain my right to continue stepping on your toe because it is my leg. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? And what is so dangerous is the fact that these people have thousands of people following them. And I think these thousands of people following them are very intelligent people. But when they post and say, oh, det pågår ett drev mot mig. Det pågår ett drev because people are questioning what you have posted. Are you for real? Drev, I'll tell you what drev is. Drev is telling people what is harming you and them continuing it with no regard about how you're feeling. And this brings me to an important point. It's not just what they are doing, it's who is watching them and feeling like they have a right to, because this person is doing it, so it's fine. It's what's harmful is all of the 100 comments underneath the ignorant images saying, heya day, you have a right to wear your hair in whatever braids that you want and wear whatever clothes that you want. That is utter bullshit, because what you're being is, you're being a sheep. And you're being something that is very typically Swedish behavior, and that is being neutral and staying silent. You are aligning yourself by following these accounts and participating in the comments by feeding their ego, and feeding their ego in the worst way, because you're feeding egos that will trample on me. And you claim you like me, you claim you like black people, you claim you like black culture, but you are willing to put ammunition in a gun that's shooting me. How can you justify that? At the end of the day, how can you justify that? Because I always said, I'm on this account and I'm writing about it because I feel like people make mistakes because of ignorance, because of lack of information. I don't think people are evil, because if I thought people were evil, I would deactivate this account and I would say goodbye and I would live my life with my set of privileges and move on. But I'm here thinking, and what is a slap in the face to me is when people waste my time and they get in my DMs and they're like, can you explain cultural appropriation? And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. And I go, and I type very fast and I'm like explaining. And they're like, but what about if it was like this? I go, I'm going to answer you. And then you go, thank you, Lovette, for educating me. Thank you for taking your time. And then I feel like I've done a good job today. If I've converted one person, I've done a good job. Then you're the same person the next week, or actually within 12 hours, taking a selfie with cultural appropriation attire, saying, I'm female and it's my right to exert myself as I choose, even if it is cultural appropriation. It must be really nice to have privileges to actually ignore harm that you cause to other people. And for all you hypocrites saying, don't attack the structure, don't attack the individual. Yes, I attack the structure, but I will also speak about individuals that uphold those structures. For how will we ever break down sex structures if we support individuals that hold up that structure? That goes without saying. That's like, I'm going to demolish this house, but don't touch the pillars or the walls, don't touch the windows, and don't touch the floor. I'm going to touch everything. I'm going to touch the floors, the windows. I want everything broken down. So what are you talking about? What is this fight? It's not a fight, because I hate every single time people of color speak up. People want to talk about their drev. Okay. Because that's your way of silencing us. I hate every time a person of color is nice. It's nice. They're really nice and conscientious, and they go, hi, you know that this is cultural appropriation, and I just want to make you aware. You're like, she was aggressive. Really? I have seen every inbox, and we know how white feminist accounts really love hanging out inboxes. So if people are telling you to do horrible things to yourself, why don't you just post it and show us all these horrible people who start their emails by saying, hi, hope you're okay. It would be nice if you didn't culturally appropriate my culture and also didn't cause harm to me. But no, then you're like, how dare you? I, as a white passing white female, should be allowed to do as I please. You cannot do as you please if you're stepping on my toes. And you cannot minimize what I'm saying by painting me out to be an angry black whatever. Ni kan inte dela som en torktumlares poster samtidigt som ni skriver texter under där ni upprätthåller samma skadliga strukturer. Kan ni förstå hyckleriet i det? It's pure hypocrisy. It's pure hypocrisy. And I, who never gets involved in all of this, must now come in because I see people with my cultural braids. I am Fulani. My cultural nose piercings. I am Fulani. I see you disintegrate. You have culturally appropriated for so long that you don't even know what culture you're appropriating anymore. And that is why it's so dangerous, because there's even people of color who back these accounts who don't even know the background. Then you have white people saying, oh, but in the Bible, you know, Rebecca wore it. And I'm like, but Rebecca was from another culture, from the Middle East. And Abraham was a Jew. What are you talking about? Learn your history and learn how to listen and take a step back. I'm moving around now because I have to get my child. Yeah. So that is what's happening. And I don't know how to this is going to stop. I really don't. I don't know what it is going to take for people to learn to have respect for each other, to regard each other, and to understand the fight is not a fight if everybody's not in. The fight cannot move on if we pick and choose who gets to come in our fight and who we're going to listen to. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. If we cannot even listen to each other, how can we ask men to listen to us when we tell them what their structures are doing to us? Think about it this way, and let's talk about Me Too. Yes? Our good friend Tarana Burke, black woman, gone through sexual abuse, created the hashtag Me Too. In fact, I think 80% of white feminists believe it was started by a white female. So that means a black woman can cry for 10 years from pain and suffering. But it only takes one white privileged female to use their voice and say, I'm in pain, for that to become a movement. You see my account, Black Vogue? I have been here for 4 years plus now. If I was a white female, this account would be somewhere else. Luckily, I do not get stuck on specifics, and I do not place value on amount of followers. I place value on amount of followers that listen and implement in their daily life. Because if you're following just because you think I post pretty pictures or I tell you about something, but you just read it on and you don't do background work, then we're done. We're done. You cannot fight for me until you know what my fight is. And that's what we're saying. Feminists love throwing in my face, men vi är alla samma. We are not all the same. We are all human beings, 360-degree, multi-dimensional individuals. So for you to pick the female side of me and be like, that's what we're fighting for, but you forget all of the oppression that comes with living in a black body, then we can't fight. We can't fight because that means we're only fighting for the part that resonates within you. And again, that means I have to wait for white people to validate my existence before I am a human being. Do you see how fucked up that is? And I never swear, but today you guys have got my blood boiling. So bad. It's all pure and utter hypocrisy. So for all of you who've done posts saying like, I'm going to CA for as long as I can, do yourself a favor and take it down, because at the end of the day, no, you can't CA just because it pleases you. You cannot CA if it's off the back of somebody else, because then guess what? You're not a feminist either. You're just part of the patriarchal, oppressive society. And I think you like to think that you're better than men, but in fact, you're even lower down when you do shit like that. How about that? That would be nice. Let me just see if you guys have any questions, because... And also, I have sometimes time on my hands, and I don't like to take Instagram discussions. So many of these feminist accounts who have contacted me asking to be educated, I have given them my private personal phone number, and I've said, call me, let's talk. If you want to meet me, let's meet. Let's talk about this. Again, I'm putting my neck on the line to educate you on how to respect me. They still go like, you know what they told me? I'm scary. I'm a little bit scary. You see me. I'm not scary in any sense of the word. But we have to stop that. When anger is in a white body, it's okay. But when it's in a black body, it's aggressive. That's not right. That's not true. I'm the furthest thing from aggressive you can find. I do, however, speak with a passion because I speak from my heart. I speak from my experiences. And it's time everybody opens their eyes to these big accounts that claim to be all feministic, body positivity, but still are problematic in other ways. I mean, we shouldn't even go and talk about our LGBTQ community. We should talk about POCs with mental illnesses. Living in your society gives us mental illness. Like, every day I leave my house and I have to put on an emotional armor, because I know what's coming at me. But when I explain that, people are like, oh, it's not that bad. You can't tell the person hurting that it's not that bad. I know it's it is very funny, because I think white women or white people in general are so used to being included in everything in society, having their emotions always being catered to, that now that we have other people asking for the same privileges, they're like, what? You want to take some of my privileges? No. Sharing is caring. And if you believe in equality so much, then you should put it to the test. And I want you all to put it to the test. For those of you asking me, but if I follow these accounts and I see the problematic behavior, what can I do? You can either choose to support them and give them hearts and uplift their egos, or you can actually choose to unfollow, or you can choose to question. And y'all need to stop telling other white people they cannot question this, because this is such a big problem. Just like men listen better to other men, white women should be able to listen better to white women. But no. When white women who are woke and who understand the structural problems try to enlighten other white women, they go, you are white too. You cannot tell me because this is not your right to say. That is utter bullshit. If I have spent time educating somebody else on a subject and they get the light bulb and they understand the structural issues and they see another white person do it, it's their duty to tell that person, no, that's not going to fly because of reasons X, Y, and Z. Because if they don't do that, that means they're being, again, complicit in a structural oppression. For you, it may be braids. For you, it may be wearing a septum. For you, it may be having, uttøyde örhängen. But for us, it's our culture. It's something we were born into. It's something that predates religion. It's something that predates what we have today, which is white norm everywhere. Our cultures have been live for thousands of years and developed. So for you to take it now and make it into a small trend, you're minimizing and you're disrespecting everything that we are. Everything that we are. And that is fundamentally what I want people to take away from this live. I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of being PC. I'm tired of all of this hypocrisy. I want people to start thinking and stop being so lättkränkta. Because you seem to think people of color are so easily offended. It's not us that cry at the drop of a hat. If I tell you something's hurting me, you cry. If that was the case, you would see me live every day, maybe 10 times a day, sometimes crying. But we know black tears don't have the same relevance as some others. So to large accounts, large white feminists, stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. For people commenting, liking, loving all of these accounts, stop participating in the bullshit. Because it is bullshit. At the end of the day, you can't claim men to respect you, but you disrespect everybody else. That's it. And there's a difference between appropriating and appreciating. Appreciation is I invite you to my Gambian wedding and you wear Gambian attire as respect for my culture. Disrespect is you go to a salon and you go get me one of them boxer braids and you come on Instagram thinking you're fly. You ain't fly. You look dumb. Real dumb. And you're real disrespectful. And you need to stop. Because we ain't going nowhere and we ain't going to be quiet. I see a lot of people of color accounts going quiet because they're so tired and mentally drained by constantly having to educate and constantly have to tell people how they feel only to have it being thrown back in their face. But this account is staying active and I will continue pulling you on your bullshit. And you might be a masochist loving to be pulled up on your bullshit day in and day out. But this is realer than that because I'm going to go beyond that. I will call out individuals that uphold these structures. I'm done. I'm tired. And like the last feminist told me, you all know the big deal, but whatever. I'll say it again. She was like, I love to come to your demonstration for Libya, but I got more important march to go to. And it was like the BB Masham. So I was like, when you go to the BB March, which is for women who give birth in hospitals, I hope you're marching for the black women who are 4 times more likely to die giving birth to their children. I hope you're marching for all the black women that died for gynecologists to do experiments on our bodies so your white body can be safe. Your white child can be safe. I hope you're marching for all of them because, again, white feminists don't really do background work on their past, their oppression. And when that mirror is turned around, it's not a pleasant thing, but it's something we all have to do. We all have to look at our structures within ourselves, how we participate, and put an end to it. Because no one is free unless everybody is free. And nobody is respected until everybody is respected. How about that? So keep on posting and keep on CAing, and I'm going to keep on bringing you up on your shit. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. And for those of you who don't know what CA is, I have put it up on my highlights. I've put it in my Insta stories. I've ranted, I've raved. There's several accounts that talk about this. Please follow them and read up about it. Tänk Vatt has done it. Linn som en torrtumlare has done it. Det var bättre förr has done it. Go in and read. Education is fundamental, but understanding is even more fundamental to reading. Okay? I love you. Go out there, prosper, break down structures, and by all means, don't participate in oppression. Please. I beg. Goodbye.